So Joe,
Yeah.
what is this thing you have us into?
Well, funny you should ask. So this is the plan. When we went to Italy, probably the best thing there was the food by far. It was absolutely ridiculous. But even better than eating the food was when we went to the Naples area with our friends, the Aloysius, and we stayed on their vineyard. And they lived in the countryside of the Campania region in Italy. And it was really cool just to see how they really eat rather than just the restaurants and that. And what I found was amazing was they don't put a ton of ingredients and everything. Everything is just absolutely simple and pure. But the thing is, they can be completely pure because the ingredients they're using have been, perfected over hundreds, over thousands of years. So we're in the Naples area. We're obviously eating pizza. Think about what they make that with. The tomatoes, the San Marzano tomatoes, right? They've been genetically bred for thousands of years so that they have less seeds and they're perfect for the sauce that they make. And then the cheese that they use, this buffalo mozzarella. We were where they have done this for 100 years, is that right? Hundreds?
I think hundreds.
Thousands maybe. But the thing was, these water buffalo have been brought from India thousands of years ago and then just bred and bred and bred to make this beautiful fatty milk that they use as cheese. And so we went to the the mozzarella factory in the Campania region where it's like from. And you basically eat this stuff like an apple. I mean, it is like nothing else I've ever tasted. So they get to cook with that, and then the dough is probably some family recipe like forever. So everything that they use is just like perfect, so they don't have to put a lot of stuff in it. But I ate this bread at Massimo's party that was ridiculous. Probably the best bread I've ever had in my life. And
Which is saying quite a bit for
I've
you.
eaten a lot of bread. But the next morning, I went downstairs for breakfast, and I saw this bread there again. It was just wrapped in a napkin. And I'm like, oh, I don't care how crusty that bread is going to be. I don't care. I'm just going to have it. And I broke off this piece of bread, and it was so moist and so perfect and so lovely. I was just, how is this still this good? And I was saying, I wonder who they get this from, if this is just from a guy like the mozzarella and all this. And Kaja said, no, Talita made that, Massimo's wife. And I was blown away. So obviously when I see Talita, the first thing I ask her is about this bread, and she explains this thing to me, that it is a bread that she makes every day, or if they make pizza, she's always got this bread, because she uses natural yeast. And I'd never heard what natural yeast was. She goes, no chemical, natural yeast. And so she told me how she did it. She just feeds it flour every day, and it eats that, and water, and then it just, it's like a pet that you constantly feed. It's your little thing that provides for you. And I didn't have any way to take it with me. I wanted to just take it because I found out this was just what a friend of hers had given her many years ago, and she got it from her mother or the mother before her, and it had just been almost perfected, or an heirloom bread, if you will, just like an heirloom tomato. And it was amazing. I wanted to steal it, but I couldn't get it here.
Why?
I just couldn't feed it. While I couldn't really bring like water and flour onto a plane and feed it there, which I probably should have. But she told me to just Google it. She goes, "Don't just go home, Google it, and figure it out, because you can do it yourself." So I did that right when I got back, and I saw the Bread Geek on YouTube talk about natural yeast, and she had a lot of things to say about why natural yeast can save like everything. It cures all of this stuff, because it's actually this fake yeast that everybody uses nowadays. See, for thousands of years, everyone just used natural yeast. And they say that this yeast was actually the first domesticated creature in history. It's something you keep alive. And that would just continually feed your family. until about, in World War II, they did active dry yeast. So it was like they didn't have to be refrigerated for the military, it was easy. So they started using that a lot more. And then 1984, she said this rapid rise yeast was introduced, and so it was 50% faster than the active dry yeast, and that's when everything changed. So nobody did it the way it had been done for thousands and thousands of years. Everyone switches to this yeast. She said some cool things in there, like if it's created in a lab, it takes the lab to digest it, which I thought was really good. So I did more research, and I was like, I really want to do this. I want to do this. I bought her book on Amazon, and I also went on YouTube and found out, hey, how do I make these starters? How do I make these starters? I'll try one at home. And so I YouTubed, and I found this Japanese lady, Miho, on YouTube, where it talks about getting yeast from the air and using fruit or raisins or anything to get this started. And then there's other ways too. And I found another one where it's like all you need is water and flour. And then another one you can do it with rice and all this stuff. So I realized there's thousands of different ways to make this starter. So I figured I would try 3 different ones. So what I'm doing is I'm starting one whole wheat starter from the Bread Geek. That's the good old-fashioned Latter-day Saints whole wheat. This is the best bread in the world one that I'm getting the starter for that for free since I bought her book on Amazon Kindle. And then I am starting a sourdough starter, which is pretty much just flour and water from San Francisco that I got online. And then I'm going to try the Japanese Miho's way to do it, which is what I have right here, my starter. That's raisins that I put in there yesterday.
What kind of raisins?
Organic raisins. And I think I probably already screwed up because they say to get organic raisins and with no oil, and I think these have oil in them. So this could already be screwed up, but that's why I'm making 3 of them. So maybe one will actually work.
Wait, so those raisins were supposed to have no oil?
Yeah.
How do you know there's oil in them?
I looked at the ingredients and it says sunflower oil.
Oh.
But I think it'll probably still work. It can't be that hard. I mean, if people have been doing it forever. So we got this one started, and I might make another one tomorrow just to see in case I did screw it up. I might get another one. So the reason I guess I was hoping to do this was to grow my own starter and share this experience with my close friends, my close family, and hopefully share like a really cool starter at the end. But I was also thinking that it would be a really cool way to keep in touch with family friends like little Ian and Reagan. I thought that this would be a really fun project for you to do with me while, you guys don't have much going on, Andrea's not doing anything, Josh doesn't do anything, so you guys could just do this, It's not like you guys are moving or anything, but I thought it would be fun, and then at the end we could name our pets. Maybe you can name mine, or I'll name yours, or we can just name our own, but we grow these pets together, and then we can try each other's bread, I don't know, and then I also have a bit of a secret agenda. When I was doing my research, I found out there is a way to travel with these starters incredibly easy. Like you can just dry it out and send it to a friend. So I'm thinking that if I can be good enough to keep a starter alive, Massimo, Talita's husband, is coming back to New York City in October. And so I'm thinking if I can prove to myself that I enjoy doing this and that I can do it, and I keep a starter alive until then, I'm going to send Talita the instructions of how to get it, and then I'm going to get that bread here. So I'm pretty excited about it. But I'm going to keep posting through this. I would love for other people to do this with me, especially Ian and Reagan. I think that would be really fun. I'm sure that I will hear from my mom or Ben Boltrasidis or Stephen that they've already been doing this for years, or my mom did it 30 years ago back at the church. You never know with her. But I think this will be a lot of fun, and I want to do it with you guys, so let's do this. I started on Monday, June 10th, is that right? Is that the right date? Yeah, June 10th, I put the raisins in here. All it was raisins and distilled water.
Very easy to find that.
Yeah, my lovely wife actually picked that up for me, which was perfect when it was raining, and she was picking up a sandwich, so it was very nice that she did that for me. And all you do is you put it in there with the raisins, and you fill it up with the water, and every day you come, you swirl it around, and then you pop the lid off. And then after about a week, they say, when you pop that lid off, it'll and there'll be like fizzing and bubbling, and that's when you know you have the yeast. And so we will update when we get closer to that. But if you want to do it, grab some fruit, some raisins, some distilled water, put them in a jar, seal it up every day, swirl it, and open it.
And it's organic raisins?
Organic raisins. You can do
No
anything
oil.
that's nice and sugary. You do it without that. Maybe you look at some of these videos and you want to do it just water and flour and make your own with different ones. So, or you can do pineapple juice. Lots of different things. Lots of different things. So keep in touch. We'll post these. Peace.